You are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, Kay Sap. Well, Kay Cabot is the latest to turn her back on Kevin Stefanski. She had a lot of things to say, taking shots at Kevin Stefanski, but we're going to take a deeper look at that right after this. Well, guys, Kay Cabot is the latest to take shots at Kevin Stefanski for the handling of Shedeur Sanders. Now, Kay Cabot was on the morning show with Phelps and them, and she said a handful of things. Now, this is all pertaining around the Shedeur Sanders situation. Now that Kevin Stefanski has came out and let the cat out the bag, that Shedeur Sanders was not getting no first team reps ever since he's been in training camp, OTAs, and practice. Now, a lot of people have been going at Kevin Stefanski after he let the cat out the bag and after the game against the Baltimore Ravens when Shedeur Sanders made his debut in the second half against the Baltimore Ravens because Dillon Gabriel was in concussion protocol. Now, a lot of speculation has been out there. Has Shedeur Sanders been getting first-team reps, or has he not been? Now that Kevin Stefanski has addressed the elephant in the room, stating that Shedeur Sanders is not getting first-team reps, a lot of people just start going at Kevin Stefanski. Cam Newton, you heard what he said. He's always believed that Kevin Stefanski dislikes Shedeur Sanders. He was sabotaging Shedeur Sanders, and he said not just because of say-so, he's going by Kevin Stefanski's actions. Now, Dillon Gabriel is still in concussion protocol. We got the news yesterday that Shedeur Sanders is going to be making his first start against the Las Vegas Raiders next week. And a lot of people say now it's time for Shedeur Sanders to get them first-team reps so he can build the continuity and the cohesiveness with the offensive line, learning his cadence, and get on the same page with these receivers and these tight ends and these backs. And Kay Cabot, she just completely turned her back on Kevin Stefanski. And she actually unloaded on Kevin Stefanski because she was talking about that she wrote a column earlier this year. If you wasn't going to give Shedeur Sanders any first-team reps, why even promote him to the backup quarterback? Now, we all know backup quarterbacks get reps, first-team reps. Cam Newton said it yesterday on First Take when 2015, his MVP season. He said that Derek Anderson was his backup, and he was getting at least 6 to 10 first-team snaps a day because his coach and Ron Rivera always said, you play for the what-ifs, because as a quarterback, you one play away from not being out there. And that's how Ron Rivera was preparing. Kevin Stefanski hasn't prepared like that. And it's been a lot of people going at Kevin Stefanski. It seems like the Cleveland insiders are turning against Kevin Stefanski for the handling of Shedeur Sanders. We're going to listen to what Kay Cabot had to say. But before we do that, we're partnered with Underdog Fantasy, and this is a word from our sponsor.
Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the easiest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use my promo code SBD23 and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow Simply Ball Dropping as I share my picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money. Make picks, win cash. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us. And thank you for using promo code SBD23 on Underdog Fantasy.
Now, guys, you know how we feel about Mary Kay. Mary Kay has been a little flip-flopping here and there, but she has come to the defense of Shedeur Sanders. And today she spoke on this morning's show with Phelps, and she had a lot of things to say. They asked her a question about, Shedeur Sanders' first-team reps, and Mary Kay had a lot of things to say. So let's take a listen to what Mary Kay had to say, and she completely took shots at Kevin Stefanski for the handling of Shedeur Sanders. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Got Shedeur a little bit of work with the first team going. I think once they made the decision, and I understand that the league kind of says, hey, your starters get all the reps in practice and backups are backups for a reason. I get that. But the Browns are in the unique spot of being the only team in the NFL with two rookies in this situation. Do you think that if they could go back and do this again, they would have? Or do you think that they're like, oh, well, we knew this was a possibility when we made him the number 2 quarterback?
Well, I certainly think they should have. I 100% think that they should have, because it is a unique situation. Most backup quarterbacks have played some football before in their career. Most backup quarterbacks aren't backing up another rookie. I do understand that most backups don't get any reps, and if they do get any, it's a couple here and there, a handful. Even a handful during the week would have been helpful for Shedeur if you are making him your backup quarterback. If not, then don't make him your backup quarterback. I wrote a column a while back saying that perhaps he would be best served by not being QB2, just for this very reason, because he wasn't probably going to get the reps. And most of all, he wasn't going to have a game plan designed for his skill set once he got out there. So if and when you were going to make him QB2, then I think 100% you needed him to take a few snaps from Ethan Posich, to throw the ball to Jerry Jeudy, to let the linemen hear your cadence, to have a feel for it, to have some kind of a feel for how these receivers move and run their routes and those kinds of things. So I do think they were remiss in not getting him.
Now, you heard what Mary Kay Cabot had to say, and she was absolutely right, because everybody's been talking about this now, about the situation of him not getting reps, and this was the first time Shedeur got reps with the first team, and it was in game action. And what we've been saying here, after 24 hours, after, we did a raw reaction to how Shedeur performed, but then the cat was out the bag when Kevin Stefanski said, no, this is the first time he's gotten reps. Now, a lot of people been saying, that's did Shedeur a disservice, because the receivers don't even know, to be on the same page with Shedeur. The offensive linemen don't know his cadence. The center don't know, his snap count. And things was just kind of cloudy when Shedeur was out there. I think he was improvising, trying to make the best of the situation without throwing nobody under the bus or making no excuse. And that's what Shedeur does, man. He handles it like a grown man, and he took it in stride. He tried to put the loss on himself, but Myles Garrett said, we're not going to let you do that, big fella. And now it seems like everybody is starting to see what Kevin Stefanski motive was. And like Cam Newton said, if you look at it, not even from the speculations, you look at his actions says it's something to it that he don't want Shedeur Sanders to succeed in Cleveland. We don't know what it is, but like I said, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. Just got to follow the breadcrumbs, and the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together, and we see it for face value. But hey, Dylan Gabriel's in concussion protocol. Shedeur Sanders should start against the Las Vegas Raiders. He should be getting first team reps. He should be out there with the offensive linemen that are on the first team receivers, first team tight ends, and the running backs, so they can get it all together and get it down and let Shedeur Sanders cook. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, Kay Sapp. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.